Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I'm here today with a new Junk Journal January video. And today's prompt is map, and we are on day 11. If you would like to join in on this project and use the printables that I'm about to use in this video, just go ahead and sign up in the link in the description below, and then I will send you everything that you need. And then you'll also get future packs for the rest of the month. So, all right. So that takes care of our housekeeping. And now I'm going to talk about what we're going to do today. So I'm going to do two different projects, one small and then one bigger. So I recognize we're kind of getting to the point where we're heading towards the middle of the month. Usually that's when there's a little bit of a lull. People get tired, they're busy, they have things to do. So I want to make sure that if you want to continue doing this, or even if you only want to do 1 or 2 prompts a week, you have an easy and accessible project to do. Okay, so the first project that we are going to do is just make a tag and a tuck. So it will be very easy. So what I did here is I have a tag that I already pre-cut out. Okay, now you could use, there's tags in the kit that you can use to do this, but basically what I wanted was a template. Okay, so what I did is I took my tag that didn't match the spread, because today's is map, and I wanted to use map. I grabbed that tag and I used that as a template to cut this tag out. I don't know if I have it was one of the tags from this kit that I used to cut this out. So you can use one of the tags from the kit or another tag that you have, and just as a template, go ahead and use that to cut a tag out of whichever paper you want to use. This happens to be the map paper that's included in the printable kit this week. So that's what I'm going to use. And I just cut mine off the side here. I cut it right off of here. I think I cut it off the top here. Yeah, right here. That's where I cut it off of. Okay, so I have that piece. And I have the little piece that I cut off the bottom that makes the whole, go the whole page. So I hope that is not too confusing, and it makes sense how I got to this tag. It was pretty quick and easy to do. I just wanted to have a matching tag for the theme that I have going right now. Okay, so in addition to this paper from the kit that I'm going to use today, I am also going to use a piece of this brown packing paper from Amazon. It just comes in the box. It comes in the box with all kinds of stuff. And I always save that so that I can use it for things like this. It's also great for stamping on. And just adding that little extra layer because it's so nice and thin. So I'm going to put that on the back here because I didn't print on the back of this. You can also use paper, any paper that you have, any book pages that you have, anything that you have can go on the back of here. Washi tape, anything. So, you know, I don't want you to feel constricted. You could actually even fold the tag over, you know, and like actually glue the other part of the map paper on this, you know. So you could literally put anything you want on there. And then just glue it with whatever glue you got. I'm going to use a glue stick here to do mine because I like the nice flat and even coverage that I get with that. It's just nice and, you know, usually nice and uniform. And then if I need to, I could always go and just touch it up if I need to on the corners. See, like right here, if I need to touch it up, I can just touch it up. This is a permanent glue stick, so just make sure, you know. There we go. Although I have had some moments in my life when I'm really glad I didn't use a permanent glue stick because I was able to rescue some things. So there is something to be said for non-permanent glue sticks in this world. For myself here. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this guy out and then I'm going to ink it. The bonus is that paper is really easy to cut. These are, you know, I was going to mention my glue. I had another question about my glue in the comments, so I wanted to mention it again. This here is the My Sweet Petunia glue press. I meant to mention this up front. And it is great if you have any sort of hand pain. But additionally, if you have hand pain, These recoil scissors, awesome. They come in 2 different sizes, and I notice a major difference in my hand. You know, my thumbs hurt all the time. I don't know what I'm doing to my poor thumbs, but I find these scissors and this glue press make a big difference in my like crafting comfort. So that's just a little bonus add-on there. So I'm just gonna make sure that's all nice and flat. Okay, now I have some options. Okay, so I have this here, which is from my front here, which I can use as a pocket on here. I always feel like if there's extra pieces, you know, why not just use them? So we could put this pocket on the back side of this tag here. If we wanted, you could put it on the front too. I'm going to quickly ink. And then, because if you ink the tag, even though this is the same, you'll still be able to create a defined line. I think it might be fun if we put a pocket made out of the map on one side and a pocket made out of the brown paper on the other side, just for a little contrast. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut myself a piece of this here. And I need to get this at approximately the same width here of this. So I'm going to turn this over and do it like this to make it easier. I'm going to cut that. Okay. And I'm going to have to level that guy out, so I'll do that in a second. And then I can use this one on here. I guess I could have used it to do the other part too. To kind of level my tag out a bit. I'm going to make the paper pocket just a little bit bigger. I'm going to put this one in the front here and this one on this side. And then I have a double pocket tag that I just made pretty much out of all the same stuff. So that's pretty handy. We could stamp on this if you wanted to have more decoration on this. Or now we're just going to attach this to here like that. If you wanted to, you could stamp on the back of this here. You could, depending on, you know, if you have a book page or what, depending on what you have on there, you might want to make a different decision. I'm going to leave it blank for right now because I think I might put something in my pocket. So I don't feel the like pressing need to decorate the back of it, you know. Okay, so now I'm going to come around here on the front and I'm going to do the same with this one. And I might add some washi to the front of this here just to get it a little decoration on it because this is plain. All right, so here's our double tag pocket here. And I can quickly pop an eyelet in here just to give it a little bit of more pizzazz here at the top. If you don't have an eyelet, you could use a file tab. In fact, I will do that in an upcoming project to show you that. I've been using eyelets mostly in this project. So, okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of washi to the front of this to give it a little bit more pizzazz. Put it just to make sure I'm getting it on the edge. And you could also wrap it around too if you wanted to. Michael's having a good sleep down there. Oh. Right, and now your tag is all ready to have a little something put inside of it. depending on what you have or what you want to put inside of it. So this was from, the key here that I'm going to put in here is from week 1. From the, I have to put my, sometimes you might have to give yourself a little to pockets like this because they're tight. But this is the key from week 1. It was in the, on the metals page. And then I have a little, I am using a little piece of ephemera from my ephemera stash. If you did not have a chance to make that, you can still grab that project for free, and all the videos are on my channel. Just go ahead and search it and it will pop right up for you. Okay, and so now I have my tag here. So what do I want to do is I want to put it on this page in my journal, right? So I want to attach it. So there's a couple ways I could do that. I could just clip it on with a paper clip, which is, if a lot of times if you're giving these as a gift, is a great thing to do, because then the person who gets the gift can decide where in the journal they want to put it. They also can decide what they want to put in the pockets, stuff like that. Or we can make ourselves like a quick little belly band or pocket to stick it in, right? Just right here on the corner. So let's do that really quickly and then we'll hop on to the next thing. Okay, so I'm going to grab my other piece of map. I have this map paper. This is the piece I used to make the tag. And I'm just going to cut a strip of it off. If you prefer, you could cut it by the corner, or actually, you know what I think I might do? I was going to make a belly band, but now I'm going to make a pocket. I'm sorry. I just changed. Sometimes I just change gears in the middle. I'm sorry. But you could do the belly band too, just by cutting a strip and gluing it at the top and the bottom. But I'm going to take this piece right here, which actually says, it's like a map of the British Museum. And so what I'm going to do is I kind of like how this looks against this page, which is what happened. I saw that. I'm just going to tear this down the middle here. So I make an angled pocket out of it. If you don't want to tear, you can certainly just cut it with scissors. Oops, I need to get a little bit, I want to get right to that corner there. I like having the tear only because I like having the look of just, it just kind of got ripped away. You know. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to pop this pocket right on here, just like this. And then I have a place to put my tag. And that was a pretty quick, hopefully quick project that you could probably just do, you know, if you have a few minutes in the evening or in the morning. There we go. And then, you know, if you ever have time later, you can come back and you can add a little more something to this page. Just, I'm going to grab that. If I'm trying not to pull up my sides here, I'm just going to pinch these on here. Just to make sure this glue sticks. And then we can add, if we want to, we can add a string here or a piece of twine, or even, you can even cut like a thin strip of paper and use that. I have many times used, I've even used washi tape as like little, you know, like a little, I don't know, what do you call it? Tassel on the top of that. Before lace, anything that you've got, it all works. Okay, so this is my little project. I'm gonna ink my key while I talk about the next thing. Okay, so for the next one, I have a little bit more of a collage idea in mind. I do love a collage, and so I always like to take every possible opportunity to make one. So what I was thinking of doing is taking this next page, which is actually a glassine page. So I'm not 100% sure like what that's going to end up like. But I guess I could skip the glassine page and do it on this page and then use this like an overlay, which might be better just because I plan to use a bunch of glue and paint. So what I thought I would do is I cut myself out a bunch of stuff to use. So I got this paper, and this paper, which this one I'm not going to use, I don't think. I don't know. I won't say for sure. But I've got these 3 papers, plus I had a jelly print that I made a while ago. I have a box of just jelly prints. Like, during the holidays, like, one of the things I do with my kids is we do, like, craft projects. So I think Thanksgiving one year we did jelly prints. Like, last Christmas we did rocks. Like, every year we do, like, a little thing, right? So the jelly prints were very fruitful, though, because I have a lot of, like, it gives me lots of paper and stuff. So I cut this bird out of one of the jelly prints, and also whenever I look at them, I feel happy. So that is a bonus. And then this is another one of the jelly prints, which is a window. And I kind of I want some kind of I don't know if my bird is going to be too big here for this, my idea, but I kind of wanted to do like I have a key that says journey on it. So I was thinking that this would make, this is very thick though. I don't know if I can get this in here. I wanted to kind of make this into kind of like a, like, you know, like a bird is a symbolism of, you know, taking a journey, the maps, you know, the window, like looking out towards the outside world. So that's kind of what I was thinking when I came up with this plan. I'm not sure about this key. It may have to go, and I may have to swap it for another one. I love that it says journey, but in case you guys hadn't noticed, my book is already having a lot of problems. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep it or not. I also cut my windows out of multiple different things in case I wanted to have a different color thing here. So I used a book page, I used graph paper from the kit, and this is a jelly print that was from our holiday crafting adventures. Okay, so I have these birds. So the first thing I'm going to do is do the background, and that is just going to be comprised of me putting this stuff on here. Oh, the other thing that I saved too was these are the window panes that came out of, the window die cuts. I was going to show. I die cut those shapes, I'm sorry, out of 2 old Tim Holtz dies. They are window in window box and bird silhouette, and they're these old like steel rule dies, which I've had forever but still love just as much. So I just use those to cut my windows and my bird, and then these are the panes that came out of the window, and I thought they might be fun to use on here. So what I thought I would do is just tear this guy up and start gluing some of it down on the page, and then see what happens. I also have some other like washi tape, book pages and stuff like that, you know, to incorporate in here as well. I'm just going to go to town and do that really quickly, and then I'll be back and we'll do like the main kind of imagery. I'm going to go ahead and use glue stick to put this down, and then I'll probably put Collage Medium over the top of it, just because this is a little bit faster on the bottom layer for me. It's, you know, like since I'm like, you know, on the video, and I want to be cognizant of the fact that I don't want to just take forever to do everything. So Okay, so my glue stick gave up the ghost about halfway. Well, not halfway. It made it almost till the end. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one bird here that's made out of just the plain brown paper to the back of this, because I'm not 100% sure that my bird is gonna it's gonna fit into my spread. It might. I'm hoping it's going to, but if it doesn't, then at least I have it back here on this. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that out here, and I'm gonna trade that for just a plain piece of paper, because sometimes it's hard to see when there's like a bunch of chaos going on behind it. You know, I just need a clear thing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this antique white paint and I'm going to lightly go over the whole thing. To make it one, basically. That's my plan here. Like, I want it to be like all kind of blending in together, and you'll still be able to see through it, but it won't be like, so like, oh, here's all these disparate elements, you know, that are like making the background. Okay, so I think the window is out and the bird is in. I don't think the window is the right scale for the page. So I think I'm going to just go with the bird only instead. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of blue to this page. Just in the way of paint. Just a little bit like here. And I also have some washi tape that has some words on it. So I think those are what I'm going to use in this spread for that. I think the blue will help give me more of like a sky vibe, even though I know I'm supposed to be doing map. But you know, things kind of morph and change, right, as you're doing stuff. I outlined my my bird slightly in brown pencil so that it would stick out a little bit more when I put this one down. So I'm going to put this one down on top of it, on top of the one that I already put on there when I collaged it, so that it's kind of more like a 3D situation. Or is that 2D? I don't know. Who knows? All right, I'm going to put all that on there. I just got to get him all lined up. And if he's not perfectly lined up, I think that's probably okay. You know, because it's just going to be like a fun little experiment. And then I'm going to dry my page really quickly, and then I'm going to come back in with my washi tape. Okay, that was mostly dry, but I did use some, you know, glue and stuff there at the end. This page is going to be so stiff when I'm done with it. Okay, so let's take a stab at this washi tape. Okay, so I have this washi tape here. There's the edge, there it is. And it has this has some phrases on it, and one of them is paint the world, which I think is good for this. Should we do... I'm thinking about doing creativity as life. I know, I'm sorry, it doesn't really have anything to do with maps. But maps is what got me here, so that's, you know, what the important thing is, right? And I've got to, let's see what else we got here. I have another one that says Beauty Abounds. This is all in Create washi tape here. To be slightly less white. I don't know if that's possible. Okay, so I want to kind of add a few extra elements to this page. So I have this ticket here, and I have this like weird, whatever that fibrous background stuff is called. And I'm going to staple that on there. It's going to be a trick because this is pretty thick, but I think it will go through okay. But I think that stapling is good because I guess I'm going for a travel theme over my over my maps theme, but I think that it doesn't, the prompt isn't what's important. I think it's where it takes you is probably the end of it. And I have another one of these tickets. These are from 49 in Market, and they had these in a mystery box. I got these in a mystery box actually. I am a fan of the mystery box. I get one of these. I want to have a little bit of fabric on here, on this, like, see, this is also another way you could make a tag top for your tags, like just a folded piece of fabric like that. And then I'm just going to glue all this down. It's like a little ticket right here. It's possible that could go up there. I'm just looking for like little bits and pieces to glue on here right now. That's kind of like my sort of MO as I'm finishing you know, any project, you're kind of just like, okay, well, what can I do to just kind of fill this out a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. I would like to put that up there with something else, maybe a piece of this book page, possibly. I did make pretty good use of all these windows that I had from cutting the dies. Put that on there. Okay, so I want to finish this page off, and the way that I want to do that, I think, is by adding either paper and fabric or just the fabric. I'm not really sure. I just want to do that at the top and the bottom. I almost wish I put something behind this, but I almost don't, so I'm not really sure. So I'm going to try to add this. I'm going to add this up here. It's kind of funny how where my brain started this spread in an extremely different place than it ended up. So that's a little bit crazy. Oops, let's move that down on there. And then that gives me a little bit more texture here. I'm wondering, should I add some over here too? Because should it always be in 3s? I don't know if that's a rule or not. I'm just going to trim this. I like the, I mean, I just love the threads hanging off, right? Fortunately, I have endless little pieces of brown paper and endless little pieces of cheesecloth. I've got like cheesecloth stuck on my glue. I think I might call this done for today. I totally created all kinds of havoc in my journal by doing this. I don't really want to add red to this page at this point. I have a little bit of orange, but no red. Okay, I'm going to call this one finished, I think, for today. So this is my spread for map, even though it ended up not very mappy. But it did end up a little travel-y with stamps and tickets and stuff like that. So, and I also managed to get paint all over this glassine. So, we'll be painting this with a stencil. I also made this simple little spread with our little map tag and pockets on both sides and a pocket in our journal. So, all in all, a pretty good day of work. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you have not already, because we'll be doing lots more fun stuff for Junk Journal July, as well as more stuff in the future for the rest of the year. We'll do a project every month, and I would love it if you guys would hang around and do that with me. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and thank you so much for joining me.